Honestly, up until a few weeks ago, I would have told you guys I hit the jackpot. My relationship with my girlfriend has been, for the last 6 months, pretty damn great. It's not just the honeymoon phase stuff, either. We actually talk. The communication is solid. The respect is there, and I genuinely feel loved and appreciated by her. It's the kind of relationship where you feel secure. You know, I've never seen a single red flag from the person she is today. She's the only version of her I've ever known, and that version has been nothing but incredible. I've never been one of those guys who needs to know every single detail about a partner's past. Who you dated, what you did on spring break 10 years ago, I really don't care. People grow, people change. My one hard line, thou, has always been cheating. I know for some people it's a gray area, but for me, it's always felt pretty black and white. It's not just about the act itself. It's about the deception, the willingness to hurt someone you're supposed to care about for your own gain. It speaks to a person's character in a way I just can't overlook. So about 3 weeks ago, we were just chilling on the couch, talking about random stuff. The conversation drifted into our pasts. Nothing heavy, just funny stories from our early 20s. It was easy, comfortable. Then, the vibe shifted a little. She got quiet for a second, and then she told me there was something she should probably share. She said that when she was 20, she was single and sleeping with this guy casually. Things were fine until he got a girlfriend. But even after he was in a relationship, he kept pursuing my girlfriend, telling her he wasn't happy. The whole 9 yards. I listened, not really thinking much of it, assuming the story was going to end with her telling him to get lost. But it didn't. She looked at me, her expression serious, and said that she continued to sleep with him for a while, even though she knew, without a doubt, that he had a girlfriend he was going home to. The air in the room suddenly felt thick and heavy. I could feel my smile tighten and fade. My brain was trying to catch up with my ears. Replaying the words, she continued to sleep with him. She quickly added her reasoning from back then. In her witty minus-year minus-old mind. She wasn't the one in the relationship. She wasn't the one making a promise to be faithful. So she rationalized that she wasn't the one cheating. She told me she wasn't proud of it, that it was a selfish and immature mistake she made when she was young. But all I could hear was a loud, ringing silence. In that moment, the secure, perfect image I had of our relationship just cracked. It was still there, but a deep, unmissable fracture had just split right down the middle. I just sat there for what felt like an eternity, the silence stretching between us on the couch. I had to say something. I couldn't just let it hang in the air. I remember taking a breath, trying to get my thoughts in order before they came spilling out. Look, I started, and my voice sounded a little strained. I appreciate you telling me, but in my book, that's right up there with cheating. I finally looked at her, expecting a fight, or at least some defensiveness. I was braced for the "you don't understand," or "it was different," or "why are you judging me?" But that's not what happened at all. She didn't cross her arms or look away. She just met my gaze and nodded slowly. I know, she said, her voice soft but clear. I get why you'd feel that way. It was a shitty thing to do, and I don't have an excuse. I was young, selfish, and I wasn't thinking about the other girl at all. I was wrong. She took full ownership. No buts. No attempts to minimize it. A part of me was relieved, but another, bigger part felt even more confused. Her mature, accountable reaction in the present was making it harder, not easier, to deal with her actions in the past. That was 3 weeks ago. On the surface, things went back to normal. We still laugh at the same stupid jokes. We still cook dinner together. We still say "I love you." But underneath, something has shifted inside me. This piece of information has taken up residence in the back of my mind, and it's just festering. It's like a song you can't get out of your head, a constant, low hum of doubt that wasn't there before. I'm ashamed to admit it, but I kind of look at her a certain way now. It's this involuntary flicker of suspicion that I can't seem to control. The other day, she was laughing at a text on her phone, and for a split second, my stomach twisted. The thought just appeared. Uninvited. Who is that? I pushed it down immediately, hating myself for it, because she's never given me a single reason to doubt her. But the thought was still there. It's a poison, and it all stems from one relentless idea that keeps replaying in my head. A thought that has become the new background noise of our relationship. If she could do that without thinking of how someone else would feel, she could probably cheat on me disregarding how I would feel. It's a terrifying thought. And right now, I don't know how to make it go away. So this is where I'm at. Rate it. My brain is basically at war with itself. And I'm stuck in the middle. Half of me, the logical half, is telling me to let this go. It screams at me that people are not defined by their worst mistakes, especially mistakes they made when they were basically still a kid. She was 20. I've certainly done some dumb, selfish things I'm not proud of from that age. And the most important thing is, she's not that person anymore. The woman I'm with now is honest to a fault. So honest that she volunteered this information when she absolutely didn't have to. She took complete accountability, didn't try to shift blame, and acknowledged how wrong she was. Everything about her behavior in our relationship has been a green flag. But then there's the other half of my brain, the part that's cold, scared, and maybe a little cynical. This part doesn't care that it happened years ago. It tells me that this isn't just about a simple mistake. It's about a fundamental lack of empathy, to knowingly and repeatedly be a part of another person's betrayal that requires you to switch off the part of your conscience that considers how your actions might completely shatter a stranger. My fear is that you can't just learn that kind of empathy. You either have it or you don't. And if she was capable of disregarding that other girl's feelings so completely, what guarantees she wouldn't be capable of disregarding mine if the situation was tempting enough? I feel like I'm caught in a loop. I'll spend a day feeling fine, looking at her and seeing the incredible woman I fell in love with. Then, something will trigger it, and I'll see her through this new, ugly filter. I feel paralyzed. On one hand, I could be throwing away the best relationship I've ever had because I'm being too judgmental about her past. On the other, I could be ignoring a giant, waving red flag that's warning me about her fundamental character. So I'm turning to you guys for some perspective, because I'm completely lost here. Am I right to be this unsettled? Or am I letting my own insecurities and a rigid moral code sabotage something that's actually really great? Is this a deal breaker? Or is it a lesson in forgiveness and accepting that people can and do change? Any advice would be seriously appreciated.